Listen carefully. If you don't know how to recognize these signs, there's a strong chance you are slowly turning yourself into someone who is blind in love. The truth is, women always reveal their past, even when they're not aware they are doing it. Imagine this for a moment. You meet a very beautiful woman. She has that charming smile and those eyes that make your heart skip a beat. Everything feels so perfect that you start thinking this has to be destiny. But then, something inside you doesn't sit right. A quiet, uneasy feeling starts to creep in like something is off. The problem is that most men ignore that feeling. They push it aside, pretend nothing is wrong, and later end up paying the price with their time, their emotions, and sometimes even their self-respect.
Don't fall into that trap. Hi, my name is Zainab. If this is your first time here, you're welcome to the channel. And to my returning subscribers, you guys are the real MVP. On this channel, I share insights about female nature from a female perspective, so you don't get hurt in today's dating market, especially as an African man. If this sounds like something you are interested in, don't forget to hit the subscribe button. Alright, let's get straight into it. In this video, I'll show you 5 hidden signs that reveal she has been involved with or even slept with many men. And trust me, sign number 4 is the most dangerous weapon of them all. Think about it for a second. You meet this beautiful African woman. It's just the first date. Only a few hours in, and yet she's already dropping suggestive hints. She holds your gaze a little too long, flashes that playful smile, and casually lets her hand brush against yours like you've known each other for years. Inside your head, you're thinking, wow, she really likes Lee. She's confident, she's bold, she's attractive. But stop right there. Ask yourself this question. Why is she this comfortable, this quickly, this easily? A healthy woman, one who truly values emotions and connection, will always have a natural boundary when it comes to intimacy. Not because she is shy or overly conservative, but because she understands the value of closeness. To her, intimacy is something precious. It's like a lock that only opens after trust and genuine feelings have been built over time. But when that boundary is missing, when closeness is treated casually like ordering a cup of coffee, that is no longer confidence. That's emotional erosion. Picture a lock that has been forced open too many times. At first, it's strong, protecting what's valuable inside. But after being broken into again and again, it loses its purpose. It just hangs there, useless. The same thing happens with women. When intimacy is repeated too often without real emotional connection, it loses its meaning. It stops being special and turns into a habit, a script she has played out many times before. And here's the dangerous part. You mistake that excessive comfort for deep passion. You convince yourself there's instant chemistry, when in reality, you're just stepping into a role she has already performed with many others. Sign 2. The emotional wall you can't see. Have you ever gone out with a woman and everything looks perfect on the surface? She laughs easily, her eyes light up when she talks, the conversation flows, jokes land, and she even shares a few personal stories that sound honest. Yet, somehow, you still feel like there's a distance you can't close, no matter how hard you try. That feeling? That's the invisible emotional wall. A woman who has been through too many brief relationships,
Too much disappointment, too much emotional damage often builds this wall without even realizing it. She knows how to be pleasant. She knows how to be charming. She gives you smiles, light stories, and safe conversations. But the things that truly matter, her fears, her regrets, her emotional scars, those parts of her are locked away. Think of it like this. You are welcomed into a beautiful house. The sitting room is spotless, the lights are bright, everything looks warm and inviting. But the moment you try to open other doors, the bedroom, the quiet storage rooms, the corners filled with memories, they are all locked. You are allowed to admire what is visible, but the rooms that carry the soul of the house, you never step inside. Many men misunderstand this. They think it's class. They think it's maturity. They think it's modesty. It's not. It's protection. Every layer of that wall is made from old pain, unhealed heartbreak, broken trust, promises that were never kept. She learnt one lesson very well. It's safer to stay guarded than to open up and get hurt again. Now here's where the real problem begins. You open yourself up. You share your struggles, your past wounds, your dreams, your plans for the future. You expect depth in return, but instead you get polite answers, carefully chosen words, that same calm, reassuring smile. You keep giving, she keeps repeating a familiar script. Pay attention to this. If after weeks or even months, you notice that everything stays on the surface, if conversations never go beyond safe topics, if you never truly touch each other's hearts, that's not your imagination. That's the emotional wall doing its job. And when a relationship is blocked by that wall, you begin to feel drained. Because loving someone while constantly feeling they are emotionally far away is one of the loneliest experiences a man can have. Sign 3. She's always surrounded by men. Picture this clearly. You're sitting beside her, having a calm moment, when her phone suddenly won't rest. The screen keeps lighting up. Names you don't recognize, messages coming in back to back. Then the late night calls start. Or every random topic you bring up somehow leads to one guy I know or a male friend of mine. She laughs it off. Oh, he's just a friend. It's nothing serious. But pause for a moment. What does it really mean when a woman constantly keeps many men around her? It's not innocence. It's not openness. Most times, it's a system built around validation. Every message, every call, every bit of attention feeds a quiet voice inside her saying, I'm still wanted, I'm still attractive, I still matter. And over time, that feeling becomes addictive. Something she doesn't want to let go of. Now notice this pattern as well. Women like this often don't have many close female friends. Why? Because real friendships between women require emotional depth, honesty, and vulnerability. But when someone is used to easy attention from men, building and maintaining those deep female bonds becomes difficult. Now ask yourself another honest question. Are all the men in that circle truly harmless? Would a man send a message at midnight just to ask, have you eaten? Would someone call while she knows you are away on a work trip just to talk for fun? Let's be honest, most of them are waiting for a weak moment, waiting for a small opening, waiting for the door to crack just enough for them to step in. Here's where it becomes dangerous. Even while she's in a relationship, she keeps those doors unlocked. Not consciously, but emotionally. So, if things go wrong between you two, she doesn't need time to heal. She doesn't need time to reflect. She simply picks someone who has already been standing by. A woman who is truly ready for serious love
built her life around balance and stability. She doesn't need a crowd of men to feel secure. But when her world is overflowing with male best friends, co-workers, ex-boyfriends, and so-called older brother figures, you need to stay alert. Because in a real relationship, you deserve to be the only choice, not just another name lighting up her phone screen.
Sign 4. When intimacy becomes a weapon. This one is the most dangerous sign of all. And sadly, is the one that breaks many men without them even realizing what's happening. You believe you're experiencing love, but what's really happening is control, wrapped in warmth, softness, and affection. Let me paint the picture clearly. The two of you just had an argument. You are upset because she lied, or pushed boundaries, or made demands that weren't fair. Under normal circumstances, this is where two adults sit down, talk things through, and resolve the issue. But that doesn't happen.
Instead, she suddenly changes. Her tone softens. Her body leans closer. Her words become gentle, almost sweet as they fall into your ear. Before you even realize it, the tension melts away. The argument disappears. You think to yourself, okay, we are good again. But here's the truth. Nothing was resolved. The issue wasn't fixed. It was buried. A touch replaced accountability. A kiss replaced honesty. Passion replaced responsibility. That's when intimacy stops being about connection and turns into currency. When she wants comfort, compliance, silence, affection suddenly flows. But when she's displeased, eyes narrow. When she wants to punish, when she wants to reassert control, closeness disappears instantly, snaps. No warmth, no touch, just distance, coldly. That absence isn't accidental, it's intentional. Look closely. Real affection shows up freely. It comes naturally. It doesn't wait for the right moment to cover a mistake. But if intimacy only appears when she needs to smooth things over and vanishes whenever she wants to teach you a lesson, then what you're experiencing is not love. It's a tactic. She understands something very well. She knows men crave closeness. She knows emotional distance creates anxiety. She knows silence makes you uneasy. And she uses that knowledge as leverage. The result, you are trapped in a cycle. One moment, you are lifted by affection. The next, you are crushed by withdrawal. Up, down, warmth, cold. And it's that emotional unpredictability that hooks you, keeps you chasing balance, keeps you hoping for peace. Like a psychological loop with no exit. Let me be very clear here. The moment intimacy becomes a bargaining tool, love stops being love. It becomes a transaction. And in that transaction, you are no longer a respected man. You are a customer, paying with your emotions, your sacrifices, your silence, without even realizing the costs. Sign 5. No sense of privacy about her past. Picture this moment. You're sitting together, relaxed, enjoying the vibe. Then out of nowhere, she starts talking about her past relationships. Not in a careful or thoughtful way, but freely. Names included, places mentioned, even private moments described. What makes it worse? She talks about it casually, almost like she's sharing a funny story over drinks. Pause right there. Notice the difference. A woman who truly respects love is always mindful when speaking about her past, not because she's hiding anything, but because she understands that some memories don't need an audience. The past to her is something personal, not a badge of experience to display, not entertainment, But when a woman can easily list the men she's been with, when she can describe intimate details without hesitation, it tells you something important. Intimacy, in her mind, has lost its weight. It's no longer rare, no longer special, just something repeated so often it became ordinary. Ask yourself an honest question. If she can comfortably share private moments about another man with you, what stops her from sharing your private moments with someone else tomorrow? Once the line between what's private and what's public disappears, can you truly feel safe in that relationship? And this issue doesn't end with words alone. It affects how she views the relationship itself. To her, you may simply be another chapter, not a story worth protecting, not a bond worth guarding. And the moment you stop being special, the relationship starts losing its future. Understand this clearly. Discretion is not about secrecy. It's about knowing how to protect what matters by placing it where it belongs. If she shows no respect for privacy when speaking about her past, there's a strong chance she won't respect you in the present or in the future.
Final reflection. Brothers, when you step back and look at all 5 signs together, the picture becomes clear. A woman overly comfortable with intimacy from day one, an emotional wall that never truly lets you in, a circle of men constantly surrounding her, keeping you in quiet competition, intimacy used as leverage, giving and taking to control you, and finally, a lack of discretion about her past, showing that love may never have been sacred to her at all.
This is not judgment, it's awareness. Because the cost of ignoring these signs is not just wasted time or energy. It's your self-respect, your emotional stability, your value as a man. Many men still tell themselves, I'll be different. I'll be the one who changes her. But the truth is, it doesn't work like that.
Patterns don't disappear because you love harder. They don't vanish because you sacrifice more. They only change when she decides to face them. And that is something you cannot do for her. So stay sharp, stay aware, and don't allow yourself to become a victim of signs you could have recognized from the very beginning.